Hey, you really piss me off. Do you know that? Just what in the world do you think you're doing trying to marry my brother, you cow? You really need to learn your place and back off of him, got it?
I'm sorry, what? What is all of this about?
I heard the news from my mom. She told me that you and my brother were going to be getting married. Well, I'm not going to let him end up with a fatty like you. I know that you only care about yourself and you just want to use my brother. I won't let you get away with this.
I really have no idea what you're talking about at all, but we've already legally filed our marriage. Of course we're going to have a wedding. I don't get what the problem is.
I know that, but obviously it's the wedding that everyone is going to remember. And I am not going to let you get away with having that wedding.
You mean that you're going to try and stop your brother and I from getting married?
That's right. You two might be married on paper, but it's the wedding where you say your vows in front of everyone. And I am going to ruin that and spoil your marriage from then on. No, that's going to drive a wedge between you and finally break you two up. So don't think that I'm going to let you get away with what you're trying to pull here.
Well, I appreciate how upfront you're being to me with all of this. I'm afraid that won't do. And why would you even want to do this? As far as I know, your mom is really looking forward to us getting married.
Well, I'm not looking forward to it one bit. So there. And I know that if I can convince enough people to see things my way, that I can ruin your wedding like that.
Renee, I really think that you're being unreasonable here. I mean, come on.
No. The only unreasonable one around here is you. You really think that anyone is going to want to see someone like you get married? No one is even going to go to your stupid wedding. I can guarantee you that. There isn't anyone who will want to take the time to see you.
Renee, please, can't we just try and talk this out like adults? I mean, don't you think all the name-calling and ranting is just a little bit childish?
You think I care at all about what you like? I'll call you names I want to call you. Fat, fatty, fat pig. A person like you can't get married because only pretty people are allowed to get married. Which means that, of course, my brother in his tux will be fine. But he should be standing at the altar waiting for some fat cow like you to walk down the aisle. That will just be a waste of everyone's time and a huge waste of money.
I really don't understand what is making you act this way. I mean, I don't think that anyone else feels this way except you.
I am going to stop this from happening so that I don't have to suffer through the shame of being your sister-in-law. Ugh. Your wedding is going to blow up in your face. Don't think that just because you've gotten the legal bit out of the way that you're going to end up with my brother.
Brad. Hey there, Trish. I was just thinking about where we should do our wedding, and I really do like Green Acres as the location. What do you think? I feel like of all the places that we went to check out, it was the one with the best atmosphere and would just make for a really pretty scenery.
Wait, what? You really want to do Green Acres? But just earlier you were talking about doing a totally different venue, right? I mean, we've already paid the money to ask that other place to hold our dates for us, remember?
I know, but I was reviewing all of our options, and I really do think that Green Acres is going to be the place to do it. In fact, I had a friend tell me that Green Acres was probably the best spot we could find. And then, looking it over again, I thought they really had a point. Well, I can seriously see us getting married there.
Well, I guess I'm just surprised that you changed your mind about this so quickly is all. But I guess I'm not too strongly attached to either place.
Awesome. Perfect. Then Green Acres it is. I've actually already called ahead and signed a contract with Green Acres, so we're all good. Can you believe that we're going to be getting married in just 2 more months? This is crazy. Oh, would you mind calling the other place and canceling for us?
Well, hold on a second. Do you mean to tell me that you already signed with Green Acres to have our wedding there? And when did we say we're going to be getting married in 2 months? I thought we were still figuring out the dates.
Well, if we don't get married on the day that I arranged for, then the reservation just wouldn't work out.
Okay, but you shouldn't have just gone out and done that by yourself. I mean, we're going to be getting married. We should be choosing these things together.
No, it's fine. You have nothing to worry about at all. Besides, we still have 2 months and plenty of time to figure things out. And it's not like people are going to want to miss our wedding, so it's fine whatever day we choose to do it.
That's not the point that I'm trying to get at here, Brad. I just wish that you would have talked to me a bit more before doing this.
Well, it's already done now, so I don't really see the point of throwing a fit like this. Oh, just a heads up, we're going to be getting married in the morning. So we're not going to have any kind of reception either. And we're going to be getting married in a chapel, and then maybe we'll just go out somewhere and invite friends out. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be getting there until the very last minute, so you'll have to get there early and set all this up. Sound good?
Now hold on for just 1 second. I thought we agreed that we didn't want to do this in a chapel. Not only that, but I thought that we wanted to have a big reception dinner. And just what do you mean you're going to be late? Late to the wedding? Late to the after party? What is going on here? Why am I having to do any of this by myself when we should be doing all of this together as husband and wife?
Right, well, I would be there to help with all of that, but... Well, the thing is that I just have some errands that I'll have to run that day, and I can't do them any other day.
You're going to be running errands on our wedding day. Are you serious? If that's the case, let's get married on another day. It sounds like you're going to be too busy with your errands to help me out. So I think we should just reschedule the whole thing.
Oh, no, we can't do that. I already set everything up. It has to be on that day. It has to be in the morning, just like I arranged it.
Well, can you at least give me a good reason for why it has to go exactly that way when we agreed on something completely different?
Look, I really don't have the time to get into all of this with you right now, but it just has to be that way, okay? Besides, I've already signed the contract and everything. So if we tried to change things around now, it would cost a fee. And that would just make more trouble for everyone. Don't worry, I'm sure you can handle everything.
I really can't believe the nerve of you. I tried to warn you. Told you that you'd regret this, and you're still getting married? You really have some serious nerve, do you know that? You should have listened to me when you had the chance, Trish.
You know, Trish, I actually really can't take the blame on this one. I actually did try to, at the very least, put off the wedding, but it was actually Brad who arranged for all of this today. In fact, by the time he told me about it, he had already signed the contracts with the venue and everything, so there was nothing I could do.
Wait, what? You mean that it was my brother who picked this place out?
Exactly. But since he did it, hopefully you at least know that we're serious about getting married. I hope that you can enjoy the event at the very least.
Don't you think that you've gotten away with this? You really think that I'm just going to believe that my brother put all of this together? I just know that you probably forced him to do this, didn't you?
You really think that I forced him to have it so that we'd be getting married here today?
Just admit it! But you know what? There's still time for you to listen to what I have to say. You can still go home.
You really think that I'm going to leave my own wedding? I really don't think you know how weddings work.
Oh, don't you worry about that. We don't need you here at the wedding either. You see, I've already found Brad a new wife. So just leave already. I found a girl much more pretty than you. She'll make a much better wife for Brad than you ever would. So I'll let the wedding happen. Just not with you as the bride.
Oh, come on. You have got to be kidding me. You're really going to try and switch out the bride at the last second?
That's right. I told you that I wasn't going to let my brother end up with a nasty old cow like you. I tried to warn you, but you just wouldn't listen. But I'll have you know that I put a lot of planning into today. For hours and hours I thought about the best way that I'd be able to ruin your wedding. And then I finally figured it out. So I went and found a new wife for Brad to marry.
Wow, yeah, I can tell you really must have put a lot of thought into this. It's foolproof. Although, I have to say, I knew that you didn't approve of Brad and I getting married. But I never imagined you'd try something like this.
Well, that's what you get for underestimating me. I told you that I wasn't going to let a fatty like you marry my brother. And now I can give my brother the best wedding present of all. A much better wife than the one that he would have married. And trust me, I took a long time picking up the perfect woman for Brad to end up with. I just know that he's going to like her 1,000 times better than you.
You have got to be kidding me. I really can't believe that you would do this. What's the matter with you?
Oh, don't be sad just because I've outsmarted you. The truth is that you never stood a chance to begin with. But I just know that Brad is going to be so happy. He'll be overjoyed when he finally sees who it is that I've chosen to be his new wife. Not to mention that I'm getting 2 birds with 1 stone.
Wow. Well, I guess I'll give you an A+ for effort, but this is just stupid. I mean, do you really think that something like this could ever work? That anyone would go along with this?
What are you talking about? What part of this is crazy, huh? Do you have any idea how hard I worked picking up the perfect wife for Brad? I used his picture to create a dating profile for him and talked to dozens of women looking for the perfect match. Mwah! Was very strict with who I swiped on, too.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that you found this person who is going to replace me as Brad's wife in a dating app?
Of course I did! There's all kinds of people on there, and I knew that with enough time, I'd find the right person. And I guess I shouldn't have expected anything less for a profile with his face on it. He got all kinds of matches. There were actually so many women who I couldn't even talk to. But finally, I found one who stood out. She was beautiful and went to a good school. I just know that Brad is going to want to marry her right away.
Yeah, I really don't know if that is how this is all going to go down.
Ha! That's what a loser like you would say. But you're just jealous because you realize that I've come up with the perfect plan and that nothing is going to stop me now. So why don't you just give up on this whole thing and go home already, huh? My brother doesn't need you around anymore. Besides, I called ahead to this venue and already told him that there would be a change to the bride's name.
I'm sorry, you what? Did you really do that?
Oh, that's right. I got up first thing in the morning to call them and tell them that there had been a mistake in the preparations. So it was never, ever your wedding to begin with. Don't you get it? I've already won. Now just turn around and go home because Brad is marrying someone else.
Okay, then, fine. In fact, you know that I thank you for doing this. If this is what it's going to take for me to be able to get out of this wedding, then, well, it's unorthodox, but I'll take it.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? You're not supposed to be thanking me for kicking you out of your own wedding.
I'm sure that you thought I'd be breaking down into tears and crying, begging you not to do this. But the fact of the matter is that even before we were going to have this wedding, I was already thinking of leaving Brad. I just wasn't sure how I was going to be able to get out of doing this wedding. But now you've given me the perfect excuse.
No, wait. This doesn't make any sense at all. Why in the world would you want to try and leave my brother? I mean, he's perfect. He's the one that's way too good for you. Did you hit your head or something like that? You should be crushed. Devastated right now.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what you did want to happen when I found out about this plan of yours. But the fact of the matter is that for how perfect your brother pretends to be, it's all just an act. In fact, I bet you didn't know that your brother was already trying to marry 2 women in one day. The whole reason that we're having ours in the morning is so that he can run off and get married again this evening. I'd never want anything to do with that piece of trash again.
What are you talking about? My brother isn't going to be married twice in one day. Pfft, don't be ridiculous. What are you even talking about?
If you want to find out about this, you should go and ask Brad yourself. I'm going to be going home just like you told me. But once again, thank you so much for getting me out of this.
I don't get it. How did you know? How did you know that I was going to be having a second wedding in the afternoon? I hadn't told anyone that, you know. There's no way that you should know this was going to happen.
I guess you just underestimate the power of women's intuition. I mean, really. Did you think that after all the last-minute decisions about our wedding date and venue that I wouldn't guess anything? You even said that you were going to be late to whatever kind of gathering we were supposed to be having afterwards. Well, after that, I waited until you were asleep one night and I went through your phone.
Hold on a second. What? Why in the world would you do that?
To find exactly what I was looking for. All of the proof that you were cheating on me. You met some girl on an app and she didn't care if she was going to be your second wife. You told me that a friend had told you that Green Acres would be the perfect place for our wedding, but it was this other woman's suggestion.
Wait, no. You don't understand. There's been some kind of mistake here.
There's no mistake at all, and you know it. The moment I figured out that you were cheating on me, I knew I wanted a divorce. And to think that we had just gotten ourselves legally married. Our parents and friends were looking forward to celebrating with us. I really wasn't sure about how I was going to get out of this until your sister found a replacement for me.
Wait, hold on. You know that you're the woman that I love the most, right? If I'm going to lose you, then I don't want a second marriage. This woman said that if we didn't get married, that she would tell you about our affair. You see? She was blackmailing me into this second marriage.
Don't you dare and try to pretend to be a victim in this. You're a cheater and a liar, and that's it. And now you're getting what you deserve.
Oh, please don't say those kind of things. Look, you know we can still get through this.
I was putting off our divorce hoping that something would happen to change my mind. But now I just know that I do want a divorce. And you better believe that I'm going to be suing you for the affair that you've had behind my back.
Wait, hold on. You can't be serious about this, right? I mean, you're really going to want to get a divorce? But we're going to be getting married soon.
Oh, I won't be getting married to you. In fact, it seems like you have two choices now. You can either marry this woman in the afternoon or take the woman that your sister brought to replace me. At this point, though, I'm just glad to know that I'm not one of your choices. But anyways, it seems to me like you've got some big decisions to make.
Trish, you have to help me. Please get back here right now. My brother is in serious trouble. The other woman that Brad was seeing and the woman that I chose to replace you are fighting right now. Oh, it's getting really bad. They're kicking and screaming and tearing each other's dresses to shreds. Ooh, it's horrible.
Wow. Well, that sounds like quite the scene. I'm almost sad to miss it.
But that's not all. It turns out that the woman that I found was actually an ex-girlfriend of Renee. And apparently Brad was still choosing who he wanted to marry.
And then the woman that he had been cheating on me with just showed up to fight this other woman?
That's right. I guess neither one of them want to give up on my brother, and so now they're just tearing each other apart. But now my brother is saying that he wants to get back together with you. He says he wants to give you one more chance, so please come back.
Wow, well, all of that sounds like a hot mess, but also one that I have no real stake in.
But you have to come back. You're married to Brad. I know he said you're going to try and leave him, but you're still his wife.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that at all. But I am going to follow through on that divorce. And then I'm going to sue your brother and the woman he was cheating with. Then I'm going to forget all about Brad and this woman, and especially about you.
You can't do that! You have to come back here and put a stop to all of this! Things are bad here. My parents are wondering where you are.
Well, then it sounds to me like you have some explaining to do, don't you? But like I said, this isn't my problem anymore. And I refuse to intervene. Good luck with all that. Or not. I don't really care either way. After that, I started getting desperate texts from Brad for me to help him, but I ignored them all. Finally, I just decided to block him. Instead, I hired a lawyer to handle the divorce and make sure that Brad and his mistress paid for their affair. Having humiliated himself in front of his friends and family with the fiasco at the wedding, Brad had no one to turn to for help. He had no choice but to take out a loan to pay what he owed me. Not only that, but also had to pay the full price for both weddings. The last thing I heard about Brad was that in order to raise the money that he needed to clear his debt, he had gone to work on a fishing boat in Alaska, and no one has heard from him since. His parents reached out to me and apologized profusely for their children's behavior. They told me that they kicked Renee out and told her to find her own way in life. Obviously, that isn't how I would have liked my marriage to go at all. But I'm just glad that I was able to get out when I did and avoid getting in harm's way. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.